Howdy, friends. I went to the Austin-Travis County Democratic Convention, County Convention yesterday. I was a delegate, and it was a really great experience. I was really glad that I went, although it was kind of an all-day affair. We had speaker after speaker who talked about the party coming together and getting behind whoever gets the nomination, because of course they're worried about people who support Hillary not voting for Obama if he gets a nomination, and people who are for Obama not voting for Hillary. I think right now the statistics say about 37% of Hillary's people won't vote for Obama, and about 25% of Obama's people won't vote for Hillary. So that's very interesting. It seems more and more to me that they have to run together to keep the party viable and to be able to beat McCain, but we'll see what happens. It was pretty cool. We got to hear Sean Astin speak. He was one of the Hobbits, as you know, and he was one of the Goonies and a bunch of other things, and that was pretty cool. And the weird things were things like it was kind of disorganized, and it was at a big expo center here in Austin, and a friend of mine was there, and she was on the floor. Her precinct was on the floor of the expo center, and there was only one elevator. Otherwise, you had to take stairs down. And she had asked about accessibility, and they said, we have none. About 4 hours after she had been there, they announced that there was an elevator over there, which, I know some blind people who were there. I know them, and, they over there doesn't mean a whole lot to them, but it was over there. And then when they tried to use the elevator, the entrance is outside of the building, and they had to go down a ramp, which had a giant hole in the center of it. So, and that was pretty bad. And then there was also no bathrooms on the lower floor. So not only did you have to find over there to use the elevator, you also had to find it or use the stairs to be able to use the bathroom or to get food. Now, I brought some food because some people had told me that you should bring your own food, and so I brought some. But other people who had to buy food there, it was just concession style food, so it was like everything deep fried. And although there was pizza, I think there was pizza, and somebody in my precinct bought a drink, just a regular, a regular sized drink, and it was $5. So it's supposed to be free to participate in the democratic process, but we also had to pay to park, which $5 wasn't that big deal to pay to park. But I did see some cars who had to turn around and leave, go park about a mile away because I guess they didn't have the money or didn't want to pay for it or whatever. And then in my precinct, we had like 26 or something like that delegates, and about 18 of those were for Obama. So, of course, only 2 of our delegates were able to move on to the state convention, and of course, the Obamans were voting for their people, and so both of our delegates from our precinct were going to be for Obama. So what they do in this kind of caucus situation is they, after everything is tallied up, they go back to the figures. They have to balance it out to make sure the percentages are right. And so if you want, you can put your name in a hat to be a delegate at large in case your candidate didn't get enough through the caucusing. So I did that, and they asked questions because they have to get the demographics right. And so there was like age and ethnicity, who you were for, and if you were gay or lesbian. And of course, so I put down that I was gay, and you have to write a little sentence, and I wrote down that I'm a gay dad of 4 kids who were adopted, one from China, 1 from Russia, and 2 from Central Texas who are African-American girls, and that we represent the world. So if, that's the only way, something like that is the only way that I'm gonna get selected, because otherwise, I'm just a 40-something-year-old white guy, and, we're a dime a dozen. So that would be cool to go on to the next level. I don't really think this whole, caucus and delegate thing is very cool, because it should just be one human, one vote. And it just gets weird to me when it's all this delegate stuff happening. And let me tell you that not everyone was being nice. So, it was good that the speakers were talking about coming together and backing whoever the nominee is, because people were not nice to each other. There were fewer Hillarians there, at least here in Austin-Travis County, than other places. But really, it seems like Obama really got his people out to caucus where Hillary didn't. She won in Texas, but she didn't win in the caucusing. So that's just a weird thing of the situation of the system as it is, that if you can get your people out afterward to caucus, and you get an extra third of the vote, because if you go to a Texas primary and vote, you're really only voting for 2/3 of your candidate, because you have to come back later. Hopefully you can come back later to do that. We were lucky enough that we were able to, but lots of people just can't. I mean, with 4 kids, we were lucky to be able to do that. But it was a good thing. I'm glad we went. I'm glad I was part of the process.